新游戏，刚看过了，它竟然是可以分这种，竟然是有可以创造角色。它的422，它是所有，应该都是满的吧？12是12，对，都是用1254来调。不要，我要当1442。可是感觉那种，不是啊，4224。感觉应该有一个5之类的，没有一个专场好像很亏的。不管，我就是4224。耶！哦，运用纯粹之力演绎整个世界，带用备用知识反噬迷人意识，践行游说之道，尽享严谨话术，系人生如戏，言为以避真实，深入理解创意，纵览世间艺术，重建犯罪现场，驾驭自然法则。这个我只能选一个有。看一下其他的，如想这有什么差？威吓全场民众，同才、傀儡、疑神疑鬼，请听诚挚之声。其他是红的，这一排都是红的。哇！纵情酒色享乐，沉于毒品之海。哇，太棒了吧！这是什么鬼？炫耀肉体，坚韧不拔。为什么这智力加4，它这是加2？跟我原本选的有差。百发百中。挺直腰杆做人，就是标新立异啦。快速描述这种切换，没办法换，可以啊。因为我的 RB 坏掉了。适合创意人才，迷幻药发烧友评论家。性君主派对动物，心理变态者，扑克牌手。共享家，做完靠背，完全标新立异了。拿手绝活加1，这有拿手绝活加1。点了之后会加。 艺术家啦。复仇女神就在家中境内，这便是他们的住所，哪怕这清澈可见的。
There is nothing, only warm primordial blackness.
打虫好。
Your conscious ferments in it, no larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore. Ever.
Ever.
Never, ever. Never, ever, ever, baby.
在笑。
An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it.
An awareness creeps up on you. A mass lies hidden in your dead angle, soaking in some lurid acidic sauce. It's bloated and shameful, a ball of meat surrounding you. This is a terrible line of questioning, and it will only lead to more awareness of the meat thing.
Ex-love, ex-tenderness. It is foolish of you to resurface to the loss. Not after all the damage you've suffered to get here. Some of it irreversible. Stay. Sail with me through the abyss of pelagic zone.
我喜欢痛苦。想要从不愿意施舍我的人中拿到东西。不。
Do you really?
想在这片像墨汁一般漆黑的世界里一路航行到永恒的尽头。我要摆脱这一切。
You wouldn't like it if I told you what was back there. Why'd you think you had to bludgeon yourself into oblivion? Or did you not sense yourself marinating? Poured so much on yourself. Got a bit carried away, did we, Chef?
Fear and apprehension. You should ask what's out there first.
内陆帝国，恐惧和忧郁，你应该问外面有什么。我是个白痴，勇敢的白痴。成功。告诉我是什么在等着我。邪恶的行星。
And the evil apes are juking it out on the ball. You're one of them.
那星
It's
星
basically
有多小？
infinitesimally small.
那星星
Infinitesimally infinite 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 infinitesimally small.
那个球有多
You
大
can't even make out it's a ball when you're joking it out. It's that large.
原来它是个球啊，那么大。
Vying for resources is just a stupid expression you picked up somewhere. The part of the presentation you want to take home with you is this. You have to beat the other evil apes in the face, or you lose.
这也太悲惨了吧！
Yes, it is. And you drowned in that sadness a long time ago. You lost.
我失败
The
了。
sound outside. You recognize it. It's a Caprice Canadian motor carriage.
动力马车。我的领带还在电风扇上面。哦，这是酒吗？为什么没办法点东西？嗯？它有时候会发亮，什么东西？你应该可以点啊，这种怪怪的，怪怪的哦，这种东西没办法点。这是什么？可以点。嗯。
A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of hot water sprays from the base and steam covers the mirror. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor.
Huh?
As you slowly abort, you clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it.
从我头脑内陆帝国在跟我讲话。先碰碰它，确定我的脸没有任何毛病。
Yeah, there is definitely something wrong with it.
我镜子会跟我讲话哎。
Where to even begin? There is the bloatedness, then the swollenness. It's like there's an upholstery of alcohol underneath. It's not. Your nose feels like a small balloon in the middle of your face. It hurts when you honk it. It doesn't appear to be a particularly tiny nose either. Not with all the drinks it's absorbed for you. It's not. It's swollen and snail-like, wriggling between your fingers. Behold.
我看起来不错啊。
You have no idea who this thing is, do you?
我觉得我是一个超级明星。
It appears you're also dead. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Oh wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why?
啊？做这个表情吗？为什么？我做的是脸自己做的，我不知道是什么，它就是这样了。
Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself.
我超级巨星就是要这样。
You can't, can you? It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face, and now it won't come off. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey?
我的脸变成笑脸了，是不是？我不知道是什么的，我觉得他应该很暧昧，恐怕这女，我在暗示自己，里面跟空灵，我也认成功，很悲伤，过去了，啊？ 超级巨星。我笑脸是为女士们准备的。有某种魅力。
There might have been 10 years ago. It's little more than a cadaverous spasm now.
啊，28，我可以甩吗？
Like the rest of you, it comes from a bad place somewhere in the past. That's all you know for now.
失败。我只知道我是一个笑脸人而已。这个名看起来可以点，为什么不能点？我最近坏掉的原因吗？有一个破窗户。这东西应该是可以点的吧？我不知道为什么不会触发。我要用摇杆，不要用摇杆。摇杆有问题啊！
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with.
多什么？多了一个新衣服。
This fan has 2 chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades. You swoop up and catch the tie. Snap. It's released from the blade. What you have in your hand is a truly hideous necktie. With 4 or 5, a terrible mistake. Turn the lights off immediately. You can practically feel the photons burning a hole in your brain. The lights are off.
灯关掉了，灯关掉要干嘛？这是我的裤子，腰喇叭裤。
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in.
看外面。
The morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings. The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside.
一定是从里面下手。
A fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand.
所以不是
But
我
none
敲
of
的
it。is more likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor
有
from
东西
pulling
丢
a
出
tool
去。
back in after impact. It is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. Like the green shoe that's on the hat rack in the corner, which, coincidentally, congratulations, you smashed the window with your own shoe. Now you only have one. If you're lucky, you can still find the other on the balcony outside.
对啊，有可能
The
不是
door
我
you mean someone else took your shoe off and smacked. This person also forced the drinks on you.
哦，这个人也在强迫喝酒。
A cool wind gushes in. Your toes curl up from the cold.
找另外一只鞋。红准枪。
You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare-cut pen. It says, whirling in rags, on the aluminium keyring. There is a single key on the ring. The number 1 is etched on it. It should open the door.
那这是什么？录音带盒。这时候可以先穿一只脚。录音带盒，还有外套。那我这个不关掉，可以关掉。
The fan is spinning. The blades come squeaking to. The switch must be broken because nothing happens. The air in.
停的就好，不管。好像可以再干嘛？看一下。
The fan stands still.
来。这是什么东西？后门。后门没办法走。
Hello, officer.
51年3月，这是谁啊？
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips. Her eyes are brown and her face is speckled with birthmarks. She can't be more than 28. A silver jumpsuit falls off her like scale armor, sparkling. This is the sparkle of too many nights out.
让你臃肿的脸远离她的美丽。
No.
那你为什么要叫我长官呢
Because you're a police officer, sir.
没错，你确定吗
I am, yes. Unless you've been feeding us a set of very well-rehearsed lies all this time.
哦，
You've been here for 3 days. On official police business, no less.
3天起，我在这里待了3天。怎么是？
Couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking.
这是什么？8。肉体上的，对他尝试那个表情，让他知道你想要肉体上的，那么刺激哦。先不要好了。感觉我不想暴露自己的身份。 为什么我不记得自己是警官的事？还有别的事？选第一个。
Could it be because of the drinking?
She hasn't had time to put her makeup on. This is her morning cigarette. She looks tired, her beauty waning faster than it ought to at her age.
Don't be so harsh on yourself. They let almost anyone be a police officer.
这可以存档吗？
Of course. Be careful, officer. They don't like the police around here.
Something stirs in you as she's about to go. Call it an instinct, a need. The need to ask questions. She looks back at you, a light glinting off her eyes.
我不想问问题呢。
Yes.
说完，你有听到什么？
There was the usual ruckus. Loud disco music. I couldn't say. It's impossible to hear people speaking from over here. Oh, yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestration prime among them.
Oh, that. Yeah. Whoa.
招摇乐
The
团
less said about OO, the better.
啊？招摇乐团的讨论越少越好。
OO were huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course, like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on. It would appear so. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped and there was a slow, sad song started playing, like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Some of the time, you were yelling along to it.
把圣桑小教堂的空盒子给他看。
Yes, there was a church in there, a really small church, like the smallest, saddest church in the whole world. It was about that it doesn't matter anymore and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a winded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it. Yes, it was very cool.
Very good.
It's impossible to say whether she's being sarcastic or really means it.
Then you started screaming and trashed the place. No, it didn't sound like there was a fight. It sounded like someone was trashing their room. A window was smashed. The tape player, probably. The song stopped. And furniture, too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out. There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable. I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then, around 4 or 5. And that was it. The dock workers are pretty cocky. They think they're police enough. At least here on the coast. I can't say about the rest of the city. You're in a hostel, sir. We are in Revachol.
哇，瑞瓦校。
Revachol is the disgraced former capital of the world. divided into zones of control under foreign occupation. Half a century after a failed world revolution, she is central to our moment in time.
You sure look like you're from Revachol. Revachol parties.
Her accent suggests she is not from around here. She's from Aranye, another part of the world.
It's 51. The current century? Centuries don't have numbers, they have names. And civilization has existed for 8,000 years, sir. You're right. There is nothing funny about civilization.
这有什么好笑的吗？有什么好笑的吗？
Glad to have been of assistance.
嗯，冒烟。嗯，按2下可以跑步。世界号角。白底，白底是可以尝试。这怎么关不掉？可以敲别人家的门。
The door is closed. There is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on. A tremendous loneliness comes over you. Everybody in the world is doing something without you.
我真的很孤独，你为什么要这么做？为什么要这样对我？这是什么奇怪的对话？世界上每个人都在做这些，我真的很孤独。
The door is indifferent to your loneliness. The world does not care. Still no answer.
下一次重一点。
Still nothing. Still nothing.
这什么东西？钱呢？我的钱。 药物可以增加学习上限，好亮。海水。鞋子了。
There they both are. Two identical, like two baby crocodiles.
这人不是普通警察穿的鞋子。
It's pretty clear a normal cop is not what you... Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feel...
那在下雪。我在哪？空气不开，放歌词的地方。
You should totally sing karaoke here. The first chance you get.
唱卡拉 OK 的地
Your
方。
emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast oceanic soul.
我的灵魂很谦虚，大小很普通。
Exactly. It's met through a PA system by other people.
我是一个不走运的超级明星。
Who is mistakenly identified as a cop for his prominent jawline? Yes, sounds likely. You should sing the sad small church song from that tape you found.
Oh.
Thought it was obvious. Serves them right. Wipe that smirk off their face with your sad, tragic, small church song. Who's laughing now? No, you would need another copy of the tape first, though. The one upstairs is destroyed.
哦，我为什么要找一个拷贝？餐厅经理。这在玩鸟鸟的是谁啊？
A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter. A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of coast. Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used. This is the great skua. The seabird is the symbol for the discovery of the Insulindian Isola. The small steel tag says as much. The great skua. Stegosaurus skua.
大贼哦，这是大贼哦，对吗？
Look, your buddy is over there.
啊，我的伙伴。
Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
我是警察，警察爱跟谁话就跟谁说话。
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the bird instead.
No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria.
He's very animated all of a sudden. This seems like a touchy subject.
有什么区别吗？
I have 3 cafeterias to manage. 3. Sylvie tends the bar here, not me. I'm only
苏
standing
伊
here.
尔在哪里？
She just, you know.
His eyes dart from left to right. This man isn't lying, but he is hiding something.
So now you're a cop. Oh, forget it.
你又是警察了？好吧，他不想跟我们讲话。周一，他也可以讲话。
The man plucks at the seabird.
算了。封笔药，不要。分设计，工会成员预约。没有插电。
Hello, sweetie. You shouldn't keep your colleague waiting.
谁呀？你谁呀？野松。
A colorful piece of plastic is dangling from his carabiner. Makes your
彩色的
fingers
塑
itch.
胶。
On the counter, rolled out of his open hand,
头痛
you
药。
see a blister pack of headache medicine.
叫他起来干嘛？啊？一片彩色的塑胶在他安全扣上挂着。你看到柜台上有一包头痛药，应该是他从了。应该药就是药嘛，检查他的扣上的塑胶卡。
It's a dock worker's ID, doubling as a shift card and a job permit. A young, able-bodied man stares back at you from the photo. Santiago S. John.
干嘛？没事要偷人家东西？
A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. As you approach, he narrows his eyes and extends his hand. On the sleeve of his bomber jacket, as well as on its back, are the same enigmatic white rectangles as on your blazer.
跟他握手。
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
金协合成。 今天现在啊，57分局了，我已经41分
You
局了
realize
吧？
he's waiting for your name.
你在意识等到说出去，我都标签试着想出一个名字。当然啊，标新立异耶。
Concentration makes you squint your eyes. Your name should be deep gold and orange,
金黄色
like
的
a
橙
forest
色的，
fire looming on the horizon, but mixed with the stench of liquor rising from your breath. You're 2 steps closer to it, but there are still many to go.
什么也不说。
It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time to talk to the
我
manager
热情
here?
的话出现还蛮，其实说的也是，那这也谈过
What。he means is, he has been trying to meet up with you for 2 days, but you have been otherwise occupied.
啊？你说他吗？是我刚跟他聊过。
If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. Now that I'm here as well. I understand the scene is out back, right?
现场是外面。
It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews?
就是没有。
Okay, we'll have time for that after we take a look at the coroner's case. Have you removed the dead body from the tree?
你把尸体从树上放下来了吗？没有。
So, the body.
This is the first time you detect a weariness in the
这
lieutenant's
是你第一
voice.
次从警
It
组的
is
生
obvious
涯
he
有
would
比
have
以前
preferred for
他
the
更
body to no
加
longer.
Where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner.
음， 那就动起来吧。应该做什么来着？但我想不起来。你怎么能肯定我是警察？
I was sent here to meet a detective from Precinct 41. You have the insignia of the citizens' militia on your sleeve and on your back.
公民武装的标志。
I suppose you could be impersonating him. You could have gotten the insignia from the black market or forged it. But for now, I'm going to set those possibilities aside.
Inspectorate General means internal affairs. What he's saying is he's not from the rat squad and isn't supposed to suspect such things.
No need for derogatory terms. They're only doing their job. Yes,
白色举事。
they're not just white rectangles. They bear a halogen watermark with the letters RCM and a pattern resembling the street grid of Ravache. I would ask you to step into the headlights of my motor carriage. But again, it's none of my concern. I just need you to do your job. You mean you don't have a badge?
也就是说你没有警证。我起来的时候我身上没有。我是不是警察？我没有哦。
Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I would advise you to locate it as quickly as possible. But getting the body down
我
should
警
still
证遗
take
失
precedence.
了。但我什么都想不起来了
I。can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now. If you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby. But as I said, the dead body should be our number
不是一个
one
真警
concern.
察
We all
呢
feel that way sometimes. There is no such thing as a police officer, I'm afraid.
And then, soon after, dead bodies would be dangling from.
But first, we have to take it down. Talk to the manager. Then we go out back and after you, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party.
啊，看起来人还蛮好的。 经理。
The man with the unimpressive beard. No.
Mr. Gart, right?
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from
毁
Precinct
灭
41.
身躯。什么东西是如同森林大火一般，让闻起来像是这个烈酒？
Are you kidding me?
金达说什么让他说
Right. Now, I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene. It also took you a while to call us and report the dead body. It was you who placed the...
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you. She usually...
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
This sounds like something you can use to call this Sylvie later.
You said you just got here. From where? Are you a local?
What, of Martinez? No, I live in Jamrock. I only sometimes come here to keep an eye on the place. This is just...
But you still know your way around, yes? In case we need that.
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here. I just used to work here. And I'm not going to...
I didn't imply that.
He probably means this is where you step in and ask your questions.
不用不用。
His face expresses profound doubt in your having this.
为什么离开了？
Haven't you asked me that already? What is it with you and this woman? She has nothing to do with this. Okay, you got me. She went away because of the dead body out back. And because I asked for her number. That's why Sylvie went away.
我要他
You'll
的订
appreciate
货。
that.
Thank you.
哼哼，不顺利
I
吗？
asked an employee out. She didn't want to come, but felt obliged to. It was a bad idea. Now, what is so goddamn fascinating about that for you? It's got nothing to do with the lynching.
嗯，我约了一名员工出去，他不愿意，却又觉得不得不来。这是个坏主意，但到底有什么？我想，我就喜欢明明的，每件事情真的息息相关的。
Good for you. Was there something else? I'd like to get back to what I was doing.
这题到底在哪？
Behind this building, there's a
大楼
courtyard.
后面有个院，
They hoisted him up on a tree there.
他们把它关上了。
That's easy. See that door there? First, you exit through that. Then, to your right, you should see a big hole in the
围栏
fence.
上大
A
洞。
really big one. You can get to the courtyard through there. No need for the keys. The hole is big enough for the front. I don't know who killed him.
He doesn't know. He just said they hoisted him up on a tree.
哦，
Who is this they?
Oh, people are saying it was the union dock workers, that it was a lynching.
码头工会。
The locals, the customers, the people who eat here, a lot of dock workers eat here. Sylvie told me everyone knows the dock
大
workers
家都
did
知道
it.
是那些人。
Did the debarders themselves tell her this, or...?
I don't really know. You'll have to ask her.
什么要对事情？
I would suppose it's because they have nothing better to do.
好，
You mean the strike?
Yes, the strike.
码头在罢
The
工。
man they hanged was a security guard for the harbour company, I hear. A mercenary. The unionistas probably thought they'd send a message.
是你杀的吗？
What are you, crazy? Of course I didn't kill him.
The lieutenant turns the page in the little notebook he's been scribbling in.
嗯，就这样。
Let's go.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real.
雷亚尔，
Oh, excuse me. You owe me 130 real.
The IIR, or Inter-Isolary Real, is the global reserve currency. Whatever part of the world you're in right now, it's safe to assume he means you owe him some money.
Wow, you're a genius. Yes, that's right, money. You owe this establishment 130 real.
但究竟怎么事钱呢？
What are you, a philosopher? Money is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room or 8 bottles of potent blend and 9 packs of Royal Extra. We use it for everything, really.
给他看你早餐，这些是钱吗？
Yes, it is.
There's a shuffle of nylon as Lieutenant Kitsuragi looks for something in the pockets of his orange bomber.
Let's see. 3 nights at a tariff of 20 real comes to 60 real. Then there's the window you annihilated. The hole in the window was the first thing I saw when I came to work. So don't try to tell me you didn't. That will be 40 real in damages.
40，前面不是130吗？怎么变40？
Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30 real. Actually more, but we'll round it down to 30 for your hard work maintaining the stability and order of Revachol. That I'm sorry, but he has to pay. I can't let him stay here any longer if he doesn't. If he doesn't have the money by tonight, then...
Officer, maybe you're better off working this from home for now. You live in Jamrock, right? It's not that far away.
我不记得我家在哪儿，没有家。街上碰碰运气，我没有家。
Officer, you really need to take this up with your station. I have a shortwave radio in my car. Call them, ask for assistance.
Good luck.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank. And this place, but you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere. In time or space?
很远，在这里待了3个晚上，之前我都在哪？很远是指空间。
That doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money.
如果你没有钱呢，那里听起来可能。老子住在垃圾堆里，老师该流浪警探。
You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time.
Yes? What do you want to know? I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition. You don't know? I assumed you were in on it.
尿尿比赛。
Better still than an imbecilic cop-off.
物质警察局。
It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim. Later. Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? Maybe you can tell me what you do know to help me narrow it down a bit. Then you are not that far behind, actually. Do you want me to brief you? 3 days ago, the RCM emergencies desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part. They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that. That's right.
完成隐藏任务。
You mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you again? There's no reason to wing anything. 3 days ago, during that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. A security guard or worker of some sort hired by Wildpine. They didn't identify. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM. That's us, the Revachol Citizens Militia.
The RCM, or the Revachol Citizens Militia, is the police force you and him are part of. A self-organized peace corps of the occupied city of Revachol.
Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer. No, it's not a particularly mysterious case. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
我觉得有点性感呢，性感三小。神秘事件。会不会有点性感呢？
There was some interest in this case at my station, but not for the reasons you have in mind. You seem to wish there was a...
我是觉得，不过性谋杀的角度，也许有个年轻女子现身在行中。
Yes, it just so happens there's a beautiful blonde 19-year-old woman at the heart of this case. A rich one, in fact. Part of a murder sex cult.
某个杀人信赖教团的一份子。
The weary tone is the surest indicator that the lieutenant is being sarcastic.
Extremely.
It could still be an otherworldly sex mystery in your head, with a dark twist even. He's basically challenging you to sex it up with some lurid twist. Don't get right into it. Sit on it a bit, then hit him with it.
Good.
传奇难度。说服金对岸有一个性感又神秘，来想。
Only banal things strike you. At one you should be ashamed of. It's no wonder the soft one doesn't want to.
我马上扣了
It was right
士
to
气，
abandon you.
靠北原这个书扣士气。
No response. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
Have you tried concentrating on some...
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
惨了， 恐怕是个医疗。
Really? You look fine to me. This psychodrama is unbecoming of an officer.
Clearly, he prefers to think you're malingering. He cannot fathom that anyone could drink so much as to retroactively erase their entire
把整个人吃那个抹掉。
Then you should consider seeking medical attention. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's Lazareth. Was there anything else you wanted? Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know? That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this, but you can't quite muster
就是
enough
我会想把
testosterone.
金左放倒。不，我觉得眼睛挺酷的。
Are they? They are mostly just cumbersome. That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul, so was my grandmother, but from my mom. It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity, and a geographic division.
Seoul is a protectionist, isolationist, pan-Isolari state west of the Insulindian Isola. Actually, it's quite interesting.
You're barking at the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. No.
No.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Something is paralyzing them. You're pretty sure it has something to do with the lieutenant. It's like you're locked down.
啊？你的大脑向你的嘴唇发送些的。哦。我自己不想要放弃吧，没什么事，你没什么能做的。我只是发生。
Something the matter?
What's going on? It's like you're a puppet in his hands. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
有人在控制我的身体。
What do you mean? I have no idea.
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary.
I can't say that it does, no. When I need to think, I just...
The lieutenant produces his... We all have our different mediums.
Good. Let's change the subject. What do you want to know? Good. Excuse me? You have a distinctive way of walking. If I were to walk in front, I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's just a collegial observation. In the 57th, we call it the jamrock shuffle. They say it's a scene-clearing technique developed by one of your lieutenants for gathering evidence. It's erratic, yet thorough. Prioritizes containers.
Yes, but containers contain things, shiny things. They're interesting.
那是种种族歧视，我没有优先考虑容器。种族歧视。
I'm sure you don't. It's just a stupid interdepartmental thing. I'm making a...
什么？那边有一个那个不是吗？再问一下太
Hello,
太。
sweetie.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
是不是因为你喜欢我？
You're a handsome man, officer, with your mustache and... But dear, you're not for me. You must forgive me. I'm getting so scattered. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
赶紧拼有他。
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad. You know where we are, right?
我们已经死了，彼此纠缠，我们是幽灵。
Now. We are alive in a hostel called the Whirling in Rags, and the Whirling itself is in the city of Revachol.
这是个什么样的地方？
How would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city. I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says, speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes?
末日就要降临。50年。
That's right, dear. How
Huh?
splendid. Here, take this pen. Knowledge should always be rewarded.
Her relief is palpable. She was getting pretty worried about you there.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
哈，我们生活的正题的正路。无线电一用，被用来控制人们的思想，扭曲我们的印象，什么鬼？警察政权，某种普罗追击专政。
Nope, sadly not. Revachol is what's called a zone of control, under an alliance of...
Meaning, buying is voting.
Oh dear. And you were doing so well. There aren't any cops in River, but we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. This was 42 years ago. It has something to do with everything. I really don't know how to explain it better. You were doing quite well up until the end there. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things. History and...
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, someone more educated in sweeping.
No, I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy?
That's a good point. This doesn't look like rich century.
Yes, dear.
A paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries, like falling.
That's quite all right. I'm used to people asking questions. I know they're thinking about it anyway. Whatever do you mean?
轮椅搭档打击犯罪，清理后院的尸体。
Sequence killers? Oh my. But
A partner who needs you to help him get a corpse down from a tree.
一个需要啊？哦。
I can assure you with absolute certainty that...
now, Gentlemen, no need to squabble. I wouldn't be of much use to you anyway, sweetie. Thank you, but Martinez isn't the most wheelchair. Perhaps another time. Oh, sweetie, I heard your conversation with the manager about your financial troubles. When do you get your next paycheck?
You must be joking. Although our pay does sometimes feel like a joke.
It's not easy to assert your right to a decent living wage when you don't have a...
Interesting idea. This Everard sounds powerful. Maybe you can wrangle some coins out of his pocket.
红色是没办法
Oh
再
no, I'm so sorry. Of course, dear.
自动储存中。
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already? Sweet Lord, a whole hour. And you haven't thought about rum and lemonade in all that time? You've truly extinguished all trace of yourself.
这让我应该想吗？喝酒看起来不多。
Maybe you haven't turned out well for your drinking. Have you thought about that? Get a goddamn rum and lemonade into
不
yourself,
甜
boy.
，not 甜。
What happened, man? You used to be cool. Get your drink on and your...
找点酒喝。
The worker is in a deep slumber. You gently shake his shoulder, but nothing happens.
"我怎么出去？ 有钱呢、欸。 喝一下水。善良绿人原子笔。 魔法就会自动产生。这写的干你呀，警察。
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with? We don't see a lot of police around here. Of course. What can I help you with? Excuse me? Oh. Well, I didn't write it there. I'm okay. Since the street sign's messed up? Okay. What do you need? What do you mean? We're in Martinez, sir. This intersection is called Roundabout North, I think.
那看起来
There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, some more tenements, the harbor gates, some kind of commotion, I think. I don't follow the local politics. A fleet store, some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge leads to the coast, but it's broken, I think. Just coast. There's a little fishing. It's just water. No, actually, I think they call it the Martinez Inlet. There are some... Oh, that...
She's relieved someone has come from even all the way over here. There's a drop of death.
No problem.
She's very well composed.
Me?
She hides it well, but behind the sweat and dirt there is something else in her rigid posture.
女人不止那么简单吧
Is there?
The quickness of the reply certainly does not prove you wrong.
I'm working. I have a greenhouse in the yard there. I've been trying, well, as you already know, there's a corpse there, hanging from a tree.
Don't worry, miss.
Salts? Ammonium salts. Perhaps useful for later.
Of course.
If there's a corpse, then you're going to need those gloves for the autopsy.
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
感觉是蛮好的人。条子滚回去！
Welcome to Revachol.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
说得
It's
好。
men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
他说的对，你在破坏我们实现真正人民自主的权利。啊？深渊出了门儿。
Oh, come on, man. I just said, well...
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually...
Silence. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
这你妈的金，我支持你。如果金，我支持你。
You two make a cute couple. You know that?
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
Whatever you say.
最有种族
Officer.
思想的日记。
He smells of heavy motor oils, and his breath of high tar content cigarettes.
没拿什么
Probably.
话
Not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation.
他刚辞去
The
多久
strike?
了？
Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month, 2 months maybe. But this here is just the last week or so. Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
苹果
Yeah, apples. I take it you had other questions? It's about biological determinism, natural law. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with a coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep. People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that. So, lately we Occidentals have experienced an unfortunate downturn when members of the superior race cease to believe in their innate superiority. They stop competing for resources. The problem? The damn Kips are showing a real good game lately. Same with the mosquitoes.
Cultural victory? What is this then?
It's what the Kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. And the others too, on the radio. Heard any chansons lately? Heard any motetos or leader? No. Dominating culture is how they plan to win. They say so themselves. It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new sub-race, with unknown characteristics, leading to extra competition. That's why you've got to control the offspring. Go right ahead. You may be a cop, but that won't help you avoid the calamity.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi's stern expression remains unchanged, but you sense something there. Not a lot of moral fiber on this one yet, he thinks, wriggled out of it. You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big Fritta slogan on the back. The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. No need to worry about knocking over a display.
What is what? If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real.
Her attention is drawn to the raincoats. Stealing one undetected will now be more difficult.
Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something.
What's that magazine she's reading?
You mean this?
上面是2个女孩拥吻的彩色照
This is
片。
Pop Stars. It's got like famous people in it.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you.
不认得这个外瑞的，没有说这个时尚警察是什么？
It's where they rate different outfits famous people wear. It's kind of funny. They're kind of mean. It's about who's the most stylish.
Mm, 你的帽子可以得奖。
No.
We are not the fashion police. We're the real police.
You mean this? This is Pop Star.
Looks like it also has something called. She pops her raspberry flavored, her shoulders tense. She shuffles back only slightly. Bewilderment and repulsion. The lieutenant frowns at you before turning to the clerk with an apologetic half smile.
I don't know. Frit? A 7 to 11 grocery store. I think they think that the extra T makes it.
The story goes that normal Fritta with 2 T's, a men's workwear shop in Vredefort.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting. I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so not really.
算不上。
No. I didn't know him at all. I don't know, really.
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything, let us know, okay?
Okay. Not really. No. I didn't know him at all. I don't know, really.
No need to worry.
Okay. Uh-huh. Reality.
She is like a student unexpectedly called upon by a teacher. Can she answer the classroom question?
I don't know. What about it? When ordinary people take over the government and, demand... Yeah, it happened like 50 years ago or so. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. We're in for it? As mankind, or...
What will her essay prompt be?
In a good place. I mean, science is doing great, and this radio computer thing. I don't know. Look at the clock.
The clock shows the time at 10:09. The hands seem to be still. It's apparent the clock doesn't work.
Our government? Or do you mean something cool?
A colourful display of cigarettes and alcohol. The bottles wink at you in the light. The smokes too glitter in that dark green glass. All in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol, beer, alcohol, love, the beauty, the truth.
I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health, but I guess you already know that.
私下出售的东西，会减士气加体格。
The pale aged vodka is special, I guess. It's stored in pale for a couple of years, which makes it super, you know. I mean, I already said it'd hurt you. I don't know what else they do.
Substances give powerful bonuses to your main stats at the cost of damage to your health or morale. Use medication like Nosafed and magnesium.
No, Frick only sells legal drugs, like the law says.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various Their logo is the bloodless rose.
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, magnesium, and Hypnogamma. I don't know. I don't really know what Hypnogamma is. I guess it makes you feel less shit. It's recommended to use on... St. Baptiste, you know, the St. Baptiste Pharmaceuticals.
She is right. Saint Baptiste, the company, derives... The tear machine stands in the corner.
Oh, that's the tear machine. It's a machine for tear. You know, you find tear outside. You need a bag, I guess. We used to... Feel free to use it if you find a bag, though. I'm sure there are some.
The tear machine stand.
回收机可以回收吗？有钱。你在干嘛？大老鼠。
Bastards! We have a right to... Hold up and stay frosty, everyone.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
No.
Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
我们在这里说的是
Rights of people. Rights.
His manner of speaking is wooden, the tone of voice bland and uninspired. almost as if compiling replies from a set.
Maybe you should ask them the questions. We have families to feed, you piece.
So do we, Scott.
就嘛嘞。
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful.
We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis.
I have a question. Why do all these men...
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were
given a job to do!
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
The physically impressive man tower has turned...
Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. I'm trying to meet their fat boss.
I know nothing about a murder. Wouldn't put it past these harbor bugs. They'd do anything to stay alive. Right to work!
It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
We are not picking a side in this just yet, sir.
Pity.
Let us! When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches beats me.
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting.
裤子好像有点不合身。
His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence. He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes are obviously not his. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what. You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
What's it to you?
Oh yeah, 我看起来你特别眼熟。
Big mess caused by union greed. But I only fight for the rights of people. We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill. Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell?
领域酒吧的保镖。我记得我好像去过。领域，
Uh-huh. It was a long time ago.
Scab?
公贼。
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time.
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses. Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to Scab. Or I guess Scared, maybe. But scared of what? Of who? Personally, I'd rather beg than scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. These scabs ain't begging. They ain't holding on to their integrity. I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here, to the Wild North? Come to see the strife?
探险，缺钱。
Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out.
Oh.
The coin lands into your hand as if it has always belonged there. The swallow returns.
Always glad to help out the RCM. Shame I can't do more. Things are meager at the moment due to, you know, the winter's fat is slowly running out and all. Still better than scabbing though. Nothing to worry about really. The jam's a bit of a mess, cargo can't get in or out. The rationing is a bit stricter is all. Supply should last the strike. Aye, you lost me there, Honcho. But it's okay as long as you're not a sorry-ass scab. My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range awaits. I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage.
If it's all so simple, why don't the strikebreakers jump?
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in.
冯策卢先生。
Yeah, the 2.5-meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him. Then press the button to unlock the door. Then go past him again, and you enter the arbor through the office. Está.
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his hair.
Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder. I don't believe you. Post Laventorier said the same thing. They tried to get me to be their postman. So it wasn't. I'm doing much better here at the harbor. Being an honest union man with a lot of free time on his hands. You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike too.
看那个大老粗吧。不用了。对啊，一个妹子，我有妹子在。
Nobody betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger because you are not a threat to me. What is this androgynous display?
Merely standing up makes you sweat profusely.
Stop it! You are embarrassing yourself in front of this woman and your This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger maternal instinct, but it is a liability.
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
You have succumbed to Al-Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick. Yes.
He means alcohol.
Correct. My small skull servant. Al-Ghul is an ancient Ilmaran poison.
Intentionally fermented drinks have existed for 10,000 years.
Servitude to Al-Ghul does not explain everything. There are...
It's not good.
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk and drowned.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink.
Does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
You是训练过的他。
Begging for help, attempting to pass fear for cooperation. How far the Occidental haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and power. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war. Like you dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos. You will be superseded.
It is, baby, yeah.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage. Bring your troops to the Simonine Islands and to Boogie Street. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Meshahed's race theory. He would take you as one of his own. The best idea.
92块，标新立异，统一啦。
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you?
The lieutenant looks toward the harbor's electronic door, and then to you.
You are obviously a liberal, Sailorite. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of microtechnology and your sartorial choices. There are 3 categories of race.
英雄种族、女种族、肮脏的心、披肩者大人干。
The servile races, and the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun, of course. The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point where they find it impossible to smile. A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades in Maun cities like Stadskanal and Vredefort, wearing wooden clogs on their feet and little green tassels on their hats. The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the other large Mondial civilization, The Mesk are too yellow and on the edges to count as a heroic race. True, they are violent and expansionist. Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to Elm as proven by the Mound and the Mesk. Occidental type A is in retrograde. The Seminese and the Areopagites are on the ascent. The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The Seminese are powerful, mesomorphic. The former is an immutable progenitor. The latter is perfected and adapting. Together they form the Semeno-Areopagite or Simeopagite super race. Type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors of the great.
The Khoikos of Grad, Yugo, Zhimsk, Shest et al. Are what you would call white officer in a suspect description.
Yes, to an untrained eye, the Khoiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich. But look into their eyes and you will see. They are of an indistinct color, and so is theirs. Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination. At the Grad people, the Khoiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad are all inexplicably obsessed with potard. The only thing they like more is the...
Wouldn't he be one for ethno-states?
They are microscopic. The Semeno-Areopagite superstate will come. Its leaders will be the genetic epitome of the Semenese. The Revacholians, halfway between type A and the racial cauldron. Too mixed to know right from wrong.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad, in Zarath written potato carts. It is literally an illness. The revolution is fatal familial insomnia. A hereditary prion condition passed from the Khoiko to the enough of Tibet mediocrity. Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. Lesser races like the Mosquito, a grotesque mixture of a Mesk woman and a Semenese man. Only possible if the mother is Mesk and the father Semenese. The Mosquito is born sterile, like a donkey. All they have left is to ride customized motor carriages with hydraulics.
It seems unlikely that two human beings produce genetically sterile offspring.
You are right. You have misunderstood. You lack basic phylogenetic. Then there is the Semeno-Koiki Chimera. Are you sure you wish to know of the Semeno-Koiki Chimera? It is not an aesthetics. The Khoiko, as you know, are very servile, especially when they meet the rich man. Racial scientists have toyed with the idea of crossing the Semenese with this will never happen. The Semenese and the Khoiko may have similar interbreeding problems as the Mosquito. We will never, but enough. It is cruel to entertain ourselves with the deformities of Type CF. Were there any... You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone solved it. We will...
Access to the Union is important for our investigation, but there may be another way in, without becoming a race theoretician.
Am I mildly worried he might take it seriously? The lieutenant thinks. Yes, I am, he concludes. I am worried.
我金好像不太喜欢呢。
Lost, though, buckled away at the last gate. This is why I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, Tibere Vasholian. Your love for disco music and venereal disease? Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than... Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront also. To serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic. Jam. Individualism. You have gotten these ideas from degenerate youth culture, have you not? You have picked them up from rock and roll songs? Rock and roll is moribund. Only Koikos listen to it anymore. There is no life left in it. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminoles race. The South Island race, Haplogroup A4A. We are the future. I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulimbuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young Seminoles women walk into the grey mass on Ile de Fantôme, waiting on... No. I have heard about it on the radio. I'm from Couronne. And no, it is not just in Revachol. The city, you have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with, and never getting into the harbor. Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
Welcome to Revachol. You hear him yell at a redhead woman visiting the Fricton. He must think redheads are immigrants.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt. You exhibit forward projection of the jaw, indicative of schizophrenia and sexual inaccountability. From a purely aesthetic standpoint, The dimple in your jaw makes you look like a baby. It is impossible to see any more of your bone structure. It is covered in the ravages of Al-Ghul. From what this leads me to conclude you are not a police officer. You are a common criminal, an offspring of murderers and sailors from Sur-la-Clé and Vesper. And possibly, if your racial heritage is uninteresting, it is the same as all Rivasholians. Your parents and their parents made the decision to reproduce while under the influence of Al-Ghul.
I think this racist is better than the last, but the next racist will be the really good one.
That will be the...
比较喜欢之前那个。
He will grant us 3 wishes.
Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits. A protruding occiput.
The lieutenant.
You should keep him close. The congenital defect of farsightedness does not render him a
反正不让我们过。
All that wondering, man. How can I help you? Sorry. Busy surveying the situation. Wiretapping, telescopic batons, future, or calling in tactical air support. You guys have air support, right?
Because we don't. We don't have air.
I get it. All right, I may have some advice for you on how to deal with Jean-Luc there. First, don't fight him, obviously. Second, get him to share his theory by being subordinate. Admit your lack of expertise. Basically grovel. That's how I do it. You're welcome.
Huh?
Maybe that would work. We'll have to see.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you! Not before you get in there and get your ass whooped. Learn by failure, I always...
He might have some advice, but you got to at least try to fight Meashead first. Return if you fail.
I 好想去打一场。这是怎么处分？之后再来好了。
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see the driver has adorned his space with a large metal pendant hangs from the rear. The back end of the cabin has a book with ragged edges catches your notice.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it.
There he is, in front of Rita, smoking nervously, hoping it's over. small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as hers. No response, wherever this woman is.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone. Why? I just told you why.
白背心。哦。这可以升级耶！啊。品质有感触。这升级可以干嘛？看不出来。
An old monument stand. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, I am Philip the As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chess piece. Something with great kinetic energy. Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting.
Okay, I can't see it, but I take your word for it. Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution, but the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? Target practice or a political statement? If we connect every bullet hole in Martinez to the murder, we'll get an over... I've made a note. Don't...
The king stands high above you, surveying. What did he do? You have no idea what you... High above you, the king stands triumphantly oblivious to your memory trouble. A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
From another planet. Hey there, it's the jam, my man.
The air from the east is thick with the smell of crude oils.
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes and mazoo. Yeah, imagine. So tell me, what do you need? Huh? Oh, no, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished. The bosses, man. Makes sense. It sucks is what it does. Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal fire.
Relax. He's merely joking.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice clip. They usually get shipped to Grad in the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy. This rockin' beauty. Sure is, like a rash you can't get rid of.
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one.
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long, not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically.
It's like, what?
Going on strike would probably help you dodge a bullet or two.
Maybe you should. Cops don't get paid.
The RCM is a self-managing organization that operates on donations. We promote our own leaders. It would be like striking against your own mother. Okay, but do continue. You were asking about the strike?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man.
He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side. That's for sure.
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off. Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag.
He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool exterior. Ease into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
I'm okay, man. Just the jams got me down. The fumes, the chemical rainbows, the tarpaulin stretched on the frames and the dull end.
Maybe the full-on direct approach wasn't correct. Damn, it's tricky business looking into someone's eyes and not doing it wrong.
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff.
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological.
Ask for his conclusion.
A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees. Don't be a stranger.
Looking for something?
It's raining again. It was clear just an hour ago.
Before you stands a motor carriage. Vapor emanates from the large engine. This must be the infernal machine that tore you from oblivion. The Kuprisque in the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio, a scent of leatherwork and heavy fuel oils washes over you. A metallic drawer slides out from under this.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not protective of my tools, like some...
He's clearly a little protective of his tools. But what can you do? Work is work.
橡胶手柄，铁锹，手摇，但是
The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand, useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids. The handles are long and sleek. You can do good. It's robust. Lets you see things in the dark you would otherwise miss. The pull-out toolbox slides back into the frequency tableau, the soft purr of electrical kitten.
This is Precinct 57.
Hello, Alice. Please assist our...
Operating the radio is easy. Just be confident. You've probably done it 1,000 times.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57.
Under the green prime line, a yellow saved button catches your eye. You wonder what the lieutenant's default radio station is.
公司按下收藏的标签。
As always, it's DJ Mesh and Felicio, and you.
A flock of seagulls takes off nearby, startled by the roaring radio. Right away, the lieutenant reaches into the cabin.
Someone must have been messing with the radio, or maybe it picked up a random frequency. You wanted a prime line, right? Oh, is that what it was called?
Go for it. Turn the radio back on while it's still on the Speed Freaks FM.
Souped up motor carriage for one bad mama's boy.
God damn it! Look, it helps me to stay alert on long nights, okay? It's a method. I'm not some kind of speed freak or... You would be too if you had this motor carriage. But seriously, let's quit joking.
This is Precinct 57. Can I connect you to someone? Of course. What is the number, officer?
Yes, hold on. Her number is...
Received.
Give it a minute. She might be busy at the moment.
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you. Yes, hello? Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you? You mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly,
Why not?
What? No, why would you even think that?
Hmm?
Please, don't bring Gar into this. It's none of your business.
God, why can't you just mind your own business? She mutters.
I already said I don't want to talk about this. You're messing everything up again.
Hmm?
No, not me. What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the union already knew about the court. No one calls the police. The union would get angry. You know, what the union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
我才是这里的权威。
I don't know what to tell you, officer. I didn't call you because I didn't want to get in trouble with the others. With the union. No, sorry. I don't. Not a lot of people don't have the money to have the cable.
So the union has a phone, and there's one further.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
Yeah, go on. You mean, why did I leave?
Why not?
Let's just say I left because I needed to get away from... You know who? Maybe, I don't know. I just know I have to take some time off right now. I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
为什么
No, she doesn't have a problem with you. It must be someone else she's angry about. Some other guy, like God. You know women and their constant problems. Yeah, that's where you step in. You're Lieutenant Love, matchmaker extraordinaire. Help the poor girl out, lest she turns into a spinster.
Huh?
Oh yeah, my point exactly. You know how they are. You know what you've got to do. First, you've got to calm her down. Tell her you've got everything under control. Then go and think you can do that, Lieutenant Love.
Daddy 要他在膝盖上吃了你亲爱的，我是讲爱情任务啊。
No. What?
Oh, 大老爹我什么鬼啊？
Oh, God. Please, just stay out of my life.
What?
What?
What is it?
Call was terminated by the other party. Anything else, officer?
It's on. The love quest is on. Too late, everyone. It's on. Take it to God now.
It will take just a...
Her voices fade out. He's carelessly chewing on a piece of hard candy.
Oh, it's you.
Hmm?
Yes, there's no end to the misfortunes fate has seen fit to rain upon me. Who? You are? You lost your human visage a while back. Now let's get on with it. I've got more important things to do. What? You want me to do blood work for you again? Tell you just how bad things really are across the board? You want another rundown of everything collapsing inside your body? You want the real, honest-to-God truth? Stop drinking, eat magnesium and vitamin D. And no, I don't want to hear a political commentary on the topic. In fact, I got work to do.
It's not fucking cryo-acta-latte. It's super glue, Doc.
With all the damage you've been dealing yourself with drugs and alcohol, I'm not... What else? I'm not a brain doctor.
It's hard to say if he doesn't believe you or doesn't care.
And you survived it. Even better. Anything else? I wouldn't worry about that.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? Just a second, officer.
10-2, 10-5, this is 40.
The man uses relay code. You've got this. You're a cop. And
10-4, message received. 10-5, relay message. What's your status? Over. 10-18, state your message, sir. 10-9, over. 10-4, message received. This is very serious.
Is it him? What does he want?
Says he lost his badge and needs to...
He what? He lost his badge?
Who lost his badge?
Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective. Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
He says this has probably happened to other policemen before him and laughs sarcastically.
Oh, goddammit. Is he fucking kidding? The whole station's gonna be dicked for this.
Satellite Officer Vikmar is wondering if you might be joking and adds that this start...
Mullen dicked us.
He's asking you to stop, says this is...
Of course it's serious.
Satellite Officer Vikmar concurs, losing your badge is serious. 10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear this. Dick Mullen.
What's going on?
Super Cop here lost his badge.
He lost his what now? His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
你看他说我的字不见了。
A badge.
He asks you to please stop saying he lost his...
Why? Did he find it?
Sergeant Orson was wondering if you found your badge yet.
You don't have a comeback. Sorry. It's hard to think like this.
你没有反败为胜，关键。
He's not replying. Looks like he's still looking for it. 10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
New heights even for Captain Sober.
Ask him. Ask him if he's lost his gun.
Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost...
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it is, do you?
天啊，我的枪没了。
No. It's gone. It's not fucking...
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun.
故弄玄虚哎。
Lying over the phone, it's easy. Just say it like it's the truth.
He says he didn't.
Thank God for that. That would have been a nightmare. I don't even want to imagine. Losing his badge is bad enough. Tell him to find it and fast.
We're all glad to hear you've not lost your gun, officer. You need further assistance? Over.
我还需要钱。
10-4, I hear you.
What does he want?
He's asking for...
Is he...
I don't think he...
Don't give that asshole anything.
Right. That's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over. He says it's important.
He isn't getting...
Request denied, sir. Over. Anything else, sir? Over.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through.
有什么好考虑的？
You're going to be looking at a straitjacket.
10-4, sir. I'm not hearing your question.
What? What is it? He's still on the line?
He wants to verify his info.
But of course, it says Dick Mullen, High General of the Revacholian.
Tell him to stop wasting...
What do you need, sir? Over. That's a negative, sir. I got 10-12 visitors present here. Over. 10-9, repeat message. I didn't get that, sir. Over. Sir, I will not have you talk to me in this manner. Over.
What? What is it?
He seems intoxicated and keep...
Mullen's drunk and emotionally aggressive. That's new.
Wrap it up. Don't indulge in his drunken antics.
都不跟我讲。
10-4.
Does he actually want something or is he happy?
He asked if he ever told me.
For God's sake, cut this shit out. Tell him to stop.
Sir, Satellite Officer Vicma. So, was there anything else? 10. Excuse me, sir. Over. No, sir, I haven't. You're not really keen on mentioning your own life. Understood, sir. Over. Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
The white suede feels luxurious. Your fingers waste no time closing around the handle. Clutch disengaged. Release the handle. Clutch drops. Right foot yearns for the familiar touch of the accelerator pedal. You have synced with the machine. The smell of freshly treated leather. I'm good, cherished and cared for, in the hands of a tending owner. You feel an uninterrupted connection to the mechanics. After a while, you realize silence. Of course it's only in your head. Of course it is.
Huh? 怎么了？为什么我点你去哪了？就怎么了
？Despair creeps into you, getting fat on your weakness. Whatever noble intentions you once, you're still coming up with sentences. That's a step up from total annihilation, right?
Yes, it can be difficult to be on the receiving end.
Nothing you can say would make you feel. Cop gives up the detective genre for social realism. Another police officer resigned from the RCM following a nervous breakdown. He now lives under a bridge, drinking and occasionally throwing excrement at past.
没了。哦，我看不懂为什么会突然就结束了。好了。